Hello, chess friends, and welcome to Jozarov Chess Channel, and welcome to some crazy news from the computer chess world, in which we had really, I would say, a pure dominance now over the years. It was simply a Stockfish dominance in every time format that we have seen, in every competition that we have seen. Stockfish was simply the best chess engine in the world in Blitz, Rapid, Bullet, in classical chess. Stockfish was most of the times the winner of a TCEC competition or of a computer chess championship, but now in a recent tournament in the Battle of Four. The tournament was named the Battle of Four, in which we had really the battle of four top engines. It was Stockfish, Torch, Ethereal, and the Dragon Chess engine. And the tempo of the tournament was 4+2, so 4 minutes on the clock plus 2 seconds increment per move. Stockfish did not win this event. Believe me or not, Torch, the top engine Torch, was the winner of this prestigious chess tournament, in which Torch gained, after 120 rounds, respectively, gained 67 points. Stockfish, on the other hand, gained 66 and a half points, which was really crazy. I've never witnessed now something like this, because as I mentioned in the beginning, it was simply a pure dominance by Stockfish. And what really surprised me is that Torch won this event in a faster time format. Usually when as faster the event is, then the Stockfish engine was simply stronger. For instance, if a Bullet tournament was played, then the gap between Stockfish and the other engines was simply higher. If it then was a Blitz tournament, then the gap was not so high. And also if it was maybe a Rapid tournament, then again it was maybe a closer event. In classical chess, it's still then the closest one to Stockfish. But now in, I would say, really fast time format, 4+2 is really fast time format, Torch was better than Stockfish, and it was huge surprise for me. Congratulations again to the developers of the Torch chess engine. Really brilliant performance and brilliant spectacular play we have seen now also by this top engine. And I've sorted out now a game that was, in my opinion, the critical moment of this event, in which Stockfish didn't won the reverse game. You know how they play these events. They have to play 2 times the same opening, once with the white pieces, once with the black pieces, and Stockfish lost the pairing in the so-called Albin Countergambit, in which Torch won the game with the white pieces, but then managed to make a draw in the reverse way with the black pieces. So let's see now what happened. Let's see now this beautiful gameplay by Torch against Stockfish in a crazy Albin Countergambit of the Queen's Gambit decline theory. So as I said, the tempo is 4+2 with the white pieces. The Torch chess engine opened with the move d4. The fish responds with d5, c4, the Queen's Gambit. And now we have the Albin Countergambit with the move e5, which is of course not a good opening. You can say now, why is Stockfish playing e5? Of course, it's a prearranged opening that they have to play. The organizers are testing this top engine in any openings that's possible. So as I mentioned, Stockfish also played with the white pieces the reverse game and didn't win the game in the Albin Countergambit. So here Torch simply takes d takes e5. Stockfish advances the pawn. That's the whole point of the Albin Countergambit, to get the space advantage here in the center of the board. It's very unpleasant to battle against this pawn on d4 with the move bishop, with the move e3, then bishop to b4 is even winning the game almost here for black. So that's why white continues with normal development with knight to f3. We have knight to c6 and now g3. I'm more of a fan of this knight from b to d2 line. Then you go with knight to b3. Has been played also many times in chess history, but here Torch plays, I think, also one of the greatest ways to meet the Albin Countergambit with this Fianchetto line with the move g3. We have now bishop to g4. Here Torch simply develops, and now queen to d7. The idea about this move queen to d7 is of course to play this attack against white with bishop to h3 to try to trade off somehow here the lights for bishops, and then to put more pressure with h4, h5, h4, castling queenside, and then maybe do something with the queen and rook battery on the h file when maybe white castles on this side of the board. So that's why here for knight from b to d2, we have now the move f6, we have now e takes f6, and now knight to f6. And you see now the mean plan here by the fish. So here queenside castling, we're trying bishop to h3. The knight is already developed. We have access maybe then later to the g4 or e4 square if the position is allowing. The bishop is coming maybe to c5 to support further the d4 pawn, or maybe even to a d6 to put more pressure on this diagonal maybe when the attack is flowing on the king side. But now Torch plays an interesting sideline with the move h3. h3 is really necessary to ask here Stockfish many questions. For instance, if you take bishop takes f3, then you play knight to f3, and even if bishop to b4 happens now, you have a tricky line with king to f1. King to f1, I think, is brilliant here. This wasn't playing the game, but I wanted to show, for instance, if what would have happened if white is challenged in this way. King to f1 is actually really good counter play against this potential attack by black that will probably come with h5, h4. But now the king is not there. The king is already very secure, I would say, and you didn't play kingside castling where maybe white could be challenged by a queen and rook battery, as I mentioned in the beginning. Now we play maybe king to g1, a calm way, and we wait this attack to come. But then with a3, b4, b5, bishop to g5, bishop to f4, you have counterplay, and I think white doesn't have so many tactical problems. Black didn't gain anything out of this position. So in my opinion, here a much better position for white. So that's why from move h3, Stockfish tried to keep the light square bishop on the board, and now Torch simply castles. Now there is no threat of bishop takes a3, obviously. That was now here Torch's plan. Bishop to e7 by the fish, and now a3. Because we know that black is trying to castle queenside and put more pressure on the king side. Here Torch anticipates the possibility of this idea and now is waiting. If black castles on the queen side, then b4 is coming immediately. So that's why a5, Stockfish blocks now the b4 move, but now knight to b3. Again, a good move order here by Torch, and I think this is brilliant. This is maybe a really instructive game, how you should play against the Albin Countergambit if you have problems, if you're bothered by this opening. This is, I think, really nice approach here by the Torch chess engine. Knight to b3 puts more pressure against this pawn on d4. You don't have time, obviously, to play a4 king when the knight will simply pick up the pawn on d4. So that's why after knight to b3, we have now here rook to d8. If you castle here queenside, then after knight from b to d2, again we can play b4, and then after a takes b4, a takes b4, you can maybe grab a pawn, but then rook to a8 is going to happen. So I think this is not the optimal way here for black to castle now queenside when the pawn structure already is a little bit weakened by the move a5. So it's not a firm structure anymore. So this move order could be broken immediately with the move b4. So that's why rook to d8. Stockfish keeps now the king in the center of the board, but now Torch plays a beautiful bishop to d2, attacks now the pawn. And the issue about this move is that actually you cannot play a4. Look at this, how Torch is playing precisely here in this beautiful opening. After move a4, you just play a calm knight to c1 with the idea to place your knight on a beautiful square on d3. And what black could do is maybe to play bishop to f7, but now you play knight to d3 anyway. You allow bishop to c4, but now this knights in the center of the board are dominating. Look at this, there is the beautiful e5 square. Maybe the queen drops back, and now we play knight to knight takes c6. You're trying this one, then again knight to e5. Look at this, we pick up this one, we attack the queen, we pick up this one, we pick up this one. The pawn on b7 is hanging, so the position is simply collapsing. Now in an open battle like this, the bishops are much better. We have gained an extra pawn. The king is still stuck in the center of the board. What do you want more out of this position? We can agree, I think, completely devastating position here for black. So a4 really is not working because of this maneuver, knight to c1, knight to d3, and then knight to e5. So this is now the mean plan here by Torch. So that's why for bishop to d2, Stockfish was now forced to play kingside castling, and that's sort of a move that basically black in the beginning wants to avoid. Black actually doesn't want to castle kingside. Black in the beginning wanted to castle queenside and then put more pressure somewhere here. Now the kings are on the same side, which makes the attack by black, a potential attack on the king side, not so dangerous. There is maybe this f-file, you can do something on the f-file, but nothing spectacular. I see white gained so far a pawn, Black didn't gain anything out of the activity. There is still the weakness on d4, and I think from this point on, it's very a one-way ticket in white's favor. So here knight takes a5. Stockfish loses another pawn. Torch here grabs simply the pawn on a5. We have now the move b6 by the fish, and now bishop to d2. Nothing spectacular. Knight to e4, bishop to f4, keeping again both of the bishops on the board. Bishop to f6, and now a4. Rook to e8, a5. Simply including now this rook into the game. Now the tensions are very enormous here. There's a tension here. There's a potential battle now of the pieces in the center of the board. D3 is not so dangerous. The queen is so far holding this. After potential trades of queens, I think black doesn't get anything. So black has to make something out of this attack with a great piece activity, but we have to mention, I think, again, black is not a better piece activity. White has also here a great piece activity, so I would say nothing spectacular for black going on here in this position. c5, here Stockfish cements the center, but now Torch plays a calm queen to c2. We have queen to e6, knight to e1. We have g5, an attack against the bishop, but now Torch found a beautiful counterattack with the brilliant knight to d3. This is the way to go. Great move here by Torch, really beautiful tactical move, which is not allowing so far black to take the bishop on f4, because after knight to f4 the fork, you have to now keep the queen connected to the bishop on h5, but now we have lost the connection of the queen by the knight here on e4. Now we pick up this one, and again, game over. Here for black. So that's why for knight to d3, bishop to g6, and now calm bishop to c1, bishop to g7, queen to a4, and now Torch makes a beautiful attack on the a file, forces again a passive move by Stockfish, and now Torch simply activates the pieces further. This knight is well placed. This bishop is really good. This bishop is also good, although it's on the starting square, but it has a decent activity. Now Stockfish has also lost the battle of the heavy artillery here on this side of the board, so very dominating position here by Torch. Rook to d6, rook takes, bishop to d6. When you're battered, when you have gained material, of course, trading off the pawns is not a bad idea. So here b4, Stockfish puts Stockfish's attack here on this side of the board, but now knight to c3 with an attack against the pawn on e2. Who cares? Torch says, show me what you got, I'll pick up. Now this one allows here Stockfish to pick up this one. We have king to h2. Stockfish puts more pressure against the knight on c5, and now a calm bishop to d2 again by Torch. We have now the move g4, rook to e1. Torch pins now the knight to the queen here. We have bishop to c7, and now queen to a6. Rook to f8, attacking now the pawn, but now a brilliant move here by Torch, attacking simply, great counterattack, forcing now reaction by queen to g5, but now rook takes e2 is a great move, which connects now the rook now to the pawn f2. Very important move here by Torch. G takes h3 by the fish, but now again a brilliant counterattack. Here we have seen very amazing counterattacks by Torch, where Torch didn't retreat, found simply a better counter-attacking move. So here, after knight g6, Stockfish was forced to place the queen somewhere else, but now knight takes f8. We have now queen takes e2, but now knight to g6, brilliant move. Here, instead of, I don't know, queen takes e2, you could maybe try bishop to g3 to be active, to maybe do something after takes g3 to pick up now the rook. But then again, look at this, queen to e6 solves any problem. You have to trade off now the queens, and after knight takes d4, nothing can be done. Again, white is winning with the knight, with these two pawns that are rolling. Black is simply lost. So that's why here after knight to f8, Stockfish right, queen takes e2, but now knight takes g6. We have now h takes g2, but now first of all the check. You have to now step back. Queen takes c7 comes with the check. You have to now pick it up. Now the pawn on c4 is protected, but now first of all, beautiful check here by Torch, forcing now a reaction by Stockfish, and now finally queen takes d4, which is a very important move, which connects now the queen to the pawn on c4 and also to the pawn on f2. Here Torch gained many pawns in this tactical battle, and Torch has now completely winning endgame. So Here G1, desperate try here by the fish. Here torch takes, and you check, and now okay, you gained at least one pawn here from black's perspective, but nothing is going in good direction for black. Here torch delivered a couple of checks. Now in one moment, here after move queen to d3, king to e8. In this particular position, Stockfish 17 resign. So obviously in one moment we can, I don't know, even in the worst scenario, you just, I don't know, deliver some checks, and when the king is coming here, I don't know, you can go even for queen to d6, forcing trades of queens. Again, even in this endgame, white is completely winning. So huge surprise, I would say, that torch was better in such a fast time format than Stockfish. The sample was not small of games. As I mentioned in the beginning, they played 120 games. Okay, maybe if they would have played 20 games or something, then okay, if someone wins, someone loses, it wouldn't be such a huge surprise. But after 120 games they played, winning event against Stockfish, I haven't seen it so far. Usually, as I mentioned, it was a pure domination. Now the Torch Chess engine is competing against the fish. Very spectacular performance. I cannot wait to see a new spectacular battle between these two top engines. So, okay, I hope that you enjoyed this game. Really enjoyed it a lot. We have now a new rivalry in the computer chess community. If you want to see some other beautiful chess games like this with brilliant sacrifices, with brilliant strategic play, check out our Comta Chess Games Play by Computer series. Here's the link of the playlist, and if you like this content, hit the subscribe button. See you soon with some more videos, and what do we say in the end? Chess is the best, of course.